From Toronto, PHANTA Media presents the Not So Corporate Podcast.
Okay, so welcome to the Not So Corporate Podcast. I'm Mark Traeger, your host. I'm joined with a few people. We have Leah Earle, who's our digital content producer.
Aloha.
Aloha to you as well. You're going to Hawaii soon, aren't you?
I am,
when
yeah.
are you going?
Where are you going?
Next week.
Why?
Hawaii.
Oh, that's
I'm on
awesome.
baby vacation.
Okay, hold on. We're getting ahead of
Are you
ourselves.
taking the baby?
Yeah. I have to take him everywhere pretty much.
Okay, here we
How
go.
long are you for?
Roland Echeverria is our head of production. I haven't even introduced you yet. Hey, Roland.
Hey.
And in the fourth seat, we have Chris Miller, who's a longtime freelancer with us, a camera op and a DOP. And we brought him in because today we're going to be talking about freelancing.
Hey everybody, I'm not going to Hawaii.
No, because you're working, right?
Yeah.
You need to get a baby and then you can go to Hawaii.
That's how it works.
So let's get started. Before we jump into the conversation about freelancing, I want to take a moment and talk about what we're hoping to do here with this podcast. So we get a lot of questions. I get a lot of questions from producers. I get a lot of questions from freelancers and people in the industry who are always asking about starting a business, about growing a business, about taking their video business to the next level. And I was thinking, there's a lot of technical people out there who can talk about cameras, who can talk about equipment or software. That's not what this is about. This is about growing your business. This is about sales and pricing and other topics. We want to not have it be boring. We want to have it fun. We want to make sure that we're having dialogue here. And so, what is that? You're giving me signals, hand signals. And 3, 2, 1, go. Why are you waving your hands at me?
Because you're going for too long.
Yeah, wrap it up. You're being too corporate.
Okay, I'm being too corporate. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up then. So, first segment done. Next segment, we're going to talk to Chris Miller about freelancing. Okay, so we're going to speak about freelancing, and of course we got Chris in the fourth seat today, and he's a freelancer. And I was thinking back, Chris, you actually started working with us almost 4 years ago.
Really? Long time. Wow.
It seems like a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember when we first found you, you answered an ad, as most people do when they're looking for a job, and we brought you in and interviewed you. And then I think right away, we took you to Montreal for the weekend for a really intense project,
Right.
and we really ran you through the ringer. In your experience, is that really how it starts? Like, people are looking for work, and then right away, bam, you're just thrown into it, and you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea the personalities. You really have no idea about anything?
It's weird when you first meet people and you're thrown into a project to work with them and you want great results and you're still a little bit nervous. When I met you guys for the first time, of course I was a bit nervous because it's the first time to work.
Are you nervous right now?
No, I'm not nervous right now. But I think the best thing is, you're thrown into it and let's just see what you got. And
And so, like, if you're a producer and you find yourself burning through freelancers really quickly, or they're unreliable, or they stop calling, or they won't answer the calls, or the good guys, like, sometimes you come across someone who's a fantastic freelancer and they're great in their position, but they're busy because they're popular and they're good and they're always working, and then you're trying to chase them and all these things. I find the whole thing incredibly frustrating, personally, trying to work with freelancers. So, I mean, Chris, you can speak to it on the freelancer point of view. From your side, obviously everything's shaky and all over the place. But from the producer's point of view, it's just so frustrating working with people who are all over the place.
It's super frustrating as a freelancer, but that's that going in. I mean, the first year of working as a freelancer, you get it. You understand all the things that people tell you when you're, my mentor, the things he would tell me when I first started in this business, all came true within that first year of freelance. I mean, everybody wants to work on the one Wednesday or Thursday, and nobody wants to work, the next week. It's like sink or swim, feast or famine. These are the type of things that, it's super frustrating.
Why would you do it, though? Hold on. Why would you do it?
Because there's a lot of freedom. I'm happy every day when I go to work. It's something new. It's quality of life. To be honest with you, I could probably make a lot more. I've had opportunities to make more money, but that's not the reason I got into what I'm doing right now. So if the money comes with it and I'm happy, that's great. But I like the position of freelance because I get to do many things, meet many different people, try to work on different cameras. Some of the cameras I've worked on just because I've been on a gig with like Roland or a gig with another client. So all these things play into it. But then, yes, those frustrating times where it's like, like, everybody wants you to work on one day, or like I said, there's no work. It's just.
I think the industry overall is just framing that way that everything is freelance based. So
Everything
each person is in a way its own world, its own company, and like you might say, oh, why do you do it? But then again, it's the same with a company. We are as a company, we had to go out there and chase the work, and we have a team to do that, but we're always looking for opportunities and doors to open for us. The same as a freelancer. The thing with freelance is you're basically doing the work and trying to get the work and trying to build a relationship. So you're kind of trying to do too many things at the same time, but you're maybe not the best at the relationship, or trying to do the businessy thing. Because when you're a freelancer, especially in this industry, it's all about being the art, the shot, the lighting, or whatever. And you're like, oh, I don't care about other things. But the truth is, when you break it down, it's just a business. And when you're a business of one, you kind of get stretched out thin.
Part of the reason too is for me why I guess I'm not at the point in my life where I'm full time with one production house. It's most of the time it's because yes, the whole industry is pretty much camera guys, camera op. These type of people are mostly all freelance. They all are. It's just how it
unless
works.
you do like network stuff.
Yeah, and that's even limited. I mean, if you're on like what would be a network show like? You're on for like what, a couple months maybe, or like, is that what you're talking about?
I think it's mainly like news or stuff like that.
But even news can't, like if you're an E&G camera guy, yeah,
they're becoming very
But they
freelance.
still freelance.
right?
They freelance on the side stuff.
It's contractor. You don't have camera guys in studios even. Like that's all robo.
Yeah.
Like, it's all like. Even
I think when it comes to this industry, film or video, whatever you have it, it's stuff that everybody kind of needs work-wise. But when people see the people behind it, it's sad to say, but a lot of people say it's disposable. Like, quick, there's so many guys out there that can shoot something. Mm-hmm. What's a camera? My cousin can shoot something.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So they respect. It's not, people don't see a cameraman or any other freelance in this industry like a lawyer or a nurse or anything like that. They see it like disposable, can go, I'll only use it when I need it, kind of thing. So it's a different mentality altogether.
Within our business, obviously, freelancing's mostly around very kind of specific roles like a camera operator or sound person or something like that. But I mean, there are businesses out there which are built off of a freelance model where you will source the production manager, you will source, producers, you'll get PAs, you'll get everyone throughout the whole list to produce a larger project, or maybe even a smaller project, a small company where they're dealing with freelance editors, freelance graphics, freelance almost everything, because the business model, the revenue does not support having this big team full time. So they're out there grabbing all these people. What I've never been able to understand is, how do you have any control over what you're doing? I mean, I was told when I started this company 8 years ago to build it on freelancers and have variable overhead. That's the business way to build it. But you have no control over your quality. You have no ability to train and coach people. You don't have any ability to build relationships. So that way when I say, oh gosh, I need an extra 5 hours put into this, and the person's like, well, I'm off to the next project. No, I have a relationship with my staff. So if I say I need 5 hours, they give me 5 hours because that's the right thing to do. I just feel like you don't have any of that stuff when you're dealing with freelancers. Am I off base? I mean, Chris, you've been with us 4 years, so we have some of that. But am I off base?
When you say like, your employees, if they're full time, they'll be here and they'll stay that. Is that what you're saying? They'll do the extra bit. Mm-hmm. Freelancers are in. They know what they're being hired for. If they go over that certain, let's say just time. Are you talking like just money or?
I'm not talking money, because overtime is overtime is overtime. I'm talking about heart. I'm talking about commitment. I'm talking about loyalty. I'm talking about all those things.
I think that's why I get hired. I think I get hired because people know that. I'm not trying to speak like, oh, I'm so great or anything, but I am loyal. No, but I am loyal. Like I am. I think people have told me I'm a loyal person. So I think that, and I do what. People know what I can do, and when they hire me, that's what they get. You know what I mean? I can do the extras. And I will do the extras. I'll bring out a piece of kit sometimes just because I know that day it's gonna piss me off if I have that piece of kit, like a stupid little gizmo. We can get that shot, and we're there, and we don't get that shot. I could have helped out if I would have just brought that kit. So I'll do the small things, and I think that's what people like.
I love that. I love that. What I hate what I hate as a producer, any freelancers listening, is bringing out the kit, getting it out of your bag and off the truck, and using it, and then later billing the producer without telling them. Please give people a heads up if we're gonna have to pay for extra gear, because
But that whole thing comes to personality. You know, in the freelance world, you got people who are very invested, and they keep getting higher and higher. Other guys just they get hired one or twice and they're done.
Yeah.
And there are also different levels. There's like, I don't want, the truth is there's the producer's camera, DP or director, and they're the heads, and then there's people behind, and not that I'm saying people like under someone's department, they don't care, but they're not personally invested in it. For them, it's a paycheck. For them, it's hours and money. So it just plays out differently.
Okay, so to everybody here then, so I'm the producer guy, so I'm always going to think in terms of producing, and I apologize. But what do I got to do to find really good people? What am I looking for? What's someone who's gonna really help me do my production, help me grow my business? What should I be looking for?
I think people you connect with, that you have a relationship with, like right off the bat, right after meeting them. Like I don't remember if maybe the first time, but the second and third times we met, we just like got along and we really got each other. And I feel like you need to find people that you can trust, and then
personality is huge, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
huge. You want to
They'll
work
put in
with
the
like
work.
people that you actually can laugh with and have fun with, inside jokes, because that's your team. When you go out, when we're out on production, it's like our little like group. Like there's things that like clients we'll look at each other and we like, they just like, okay. Like they don't get it. They do not get it, and it's our job to almost like.
So I said like the first time you and I worked together, Chris, we went to Montreal for the weekend to shoot the race series.
Yeah.
I think it was for
that.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
And I remember looking over, going, I think I was talking to my wife. I was like, okay, so I'm taking this freelancer I've never met to Montreal. We're sharing a room. We're gonna see each other.
I know, it was
like
awkward
we're gonna
now.
see each other in our underwear and all this other stuff.
It's just weird.
It's lucky it worked out.
That is weird. Really.
It is, but isn't that that's how you get a good person?
So hold on, what like I mean, yeah, sometimes budgets
Point.
but budgets allow for different vehicles or different transport or different hotel rooms, but at the end of the day, when you're working hard, we're in the car together, we're driving there, so we're driving the 6 hours, we're in the same room, we're eating the same meals, we're all day with each other in the sun, and then we get in the car and drive all the way back 3 days later. So it's like I'm glad. I mean, I'm sorry you listen to Fish, but other than that, I mean, I'm glad that it all worked out.
I love Fish. My Morning Jacket just came out with a great album too.
Okay, great.
Anyway, no, but yeah, that was that, and that's it. I think I think you just answered your question, and that's you almost have to get to know somebody, because I wouldn't even say I'm like people say you do great, you're a good shooter, you're a great shooter, but I'm not really that. I can do good work.
So it sounds like it's
Are
women.
you hearing things at night in your own ear?
Yeah, it sounds like it's women who are going, you do good.
Oh no,
work,
they
you
do. They
good
do.
work."
Women. That goes without saying. But well,
Chris.
and that
This lady Roland.
but you gotta have fun, and you gotta want to be with the people you're working with, and you gotta be kind of crazy too.
I work with people
we're crazy
who are,
folk.
I work with people who are pretty good technically, whatever DP or whatever it is, but they're just they're stuck in the way, or they're cocky, and the personality doesn't work. So so you go, okay, they were okay, they did the job technically, but really like I don't like them. So do I call them again? Probably not, unless I really need to.
Yeah.
Or am I willing to put up with their shit? And then
Well,
Okay, so
Yeah,
but what
like,
about
skills can be
crap
learned.
work though? Like, so that's the other thing, right? Like, we're really controlling, right? Let's admit
Yeah.
that we're really controlling with who we work with and how they work. So you get someone new, you got to take a risk on them, but you get them in once, twice, 3 times. You like them, nice people, they're earnest. They come to you, they say, "Oh, give me work. I'm gonna help you. But they just do bad work, or they
but
just
if they suck, then that's it. Like you cannot have it. Like so if they're good guys to talk to, but they're not good, then you either think, am I gonna invest in them, or should I just say that's it? Like you just gotta. I don't think it's a black and white. You just gotta. Okay, so they're good guys, but they're shitty, but they're really willing to learn. So okay, I'll invest in them. Or you say, no, they're too shitty. That's it. We can't do it anymore. Or someone who's really good but is too grumpy to work with, like me, then you can't do it. so
I thought, okay, so hold on, going back 5 years when we first,
Oh, boy.
6 years ago now, we started working together freelance. It'll be 6 weeks, 6 years this next September.
Keep it a
But
five, keep it a five.
He has an anniversary date. In his
yeah,
calendar.
I remember. I actually have a photo of the first time we ever worked together because I just happened to have one snapped on the BlackBerry. That's how old this was. But anyway, I remember thinking that you were so you came across. You told me later that you're quiet and you're reserved and you're introspective and all these things. I just thought you thought I was an idiot. I thought you thought I was loud. I was an idiot. I didn't know what I was talking about. That you were better than everyone else. And so I read that one way, and you obviously read it a different way. I mean, is that common? Because I mean, Chris, you never know what people think of you. How do you get over that? That would drive me crazy.
Apparently, everyone thinks it's great.
Yeah,
Mostly the women.
Women for sure. I think it's a special type of person that I think the
So
reason
a crazy
I'm in
person, you're
I'm
saying,
right?
For
sure. You have to be a little
Into the mic,
crazy to do what I do. I mean, it's not the easiest. Just being in film, television, communicate. What we do is crazy. It's a hard industry to break in. Not so much now. It's easier than it ever has been. But I mean,
No, I don't know about that.
I think it is. I think there's
I
more.
don't know
Well,
about
look. I mean, there's more content.
That doesn't mean anything. When I put posts for people, I used to get 10 hits, 15. I'll get 70.
Yeah, there's
But
more
out of
people,
those,
right?
Out
'Cause
of those
that-
70, they're 45 they're garbage, and then
So you're-
maybe 5 they're
oh,
half
yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
So it's just more. There's more noise out there,
Mhm.
not necessarily quality or personality or anything.
Okay, so hold on. I got sorry to interrupt here, but I got two main questions that I want to ask. So, Chris, let me just ask you really quick. What are the few tips that you would give to a freelancer? The things that you have to do in order to not only start your career but build your career and then keep momentum going. What would you say are the things you have to do?
First off, I think you really need to be yourself. If you're not cool, then that sucks because you're not going to be someone they want to work around. But luckily, I am cool, so people want to work around. I'm joking. No, be a pleasant person. You know that seems simple, but be that person people want to be around when they're shooting. Always try to get better.
Yeah, I remember you used to overexpose everything. When we
I
when we
overexposed.
started
No, this is
hiring.
a story. I overexposed
Really?
on that car. What was that? The races.
The
that we
race
did.
series. You overexposed everything.
No, it's because the first time I ever used that camera, man, and it was bright out, and I'm using that LCD, and I admit I did do this. Why am I telling this story anyway? You know what?
Okay.
And I got better. You guys are every time I talk to you, you really got better. No, I was always great. I just had that one day, and there you go. There's a good story for you. That's what happens in the freelance world. You're only as good as your last day's work.
But hold on. Seriously, we
you
thought
are only as good as that,
we
and
had
all
a-
my mistakes show.
we had a conversation though because we get the footage, right? So you shoot the footage. You have no idea what's going back. We take the footage and we sit there and we
Freaky.
analyze it and we look at it and we go, oh, this shot, oh, this shot got missed. That shot was great. This shot got missed.
Why did you shoot that?
But we sat around and we're like, is this someone we want to work with again? We had to have that conversation. And ultimately, it's been 4 years, so I guess somehow you passed
so
the
it's
test.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing that pisses me off more than a missed opportunity when you're looking at someone's footage. Because guess what? It's as a producer, as an editor, it's easy to judge. It's easy to look at the footage and go, "Oh, there was a shake in the swish," or "Oh, the shot's overexposed." It's so easy to judge sitting in the chair. But when you're there shooting and you double tap, or when you hit something, or when you trip and fall with the camera, you're just scrambling, just trying to get the shot. If it's
Yep.
ENG, but for us, we're judging you guys every single second, and that's a bit unfair. But it's the reality of it.
But the same way for it's the two-way, the editor and the shooter. It's almost like people tell you, think like an editor, right? When you're shooting, it's hard to think like an editor the entire time because you're a shooter. The editor, when he's looking at your footage, he doesn't understand.
Or she.
I'm sorry.
She.
They don't understand that there's people
Have you edited
behind
anything
you
before?
chirping in your
Oh,
ear.
shut
As a
it.
shooter, people do this all the time. So like you were saying, it's easy to look at that shot because all you're seeing is what we're showing you, right? Everyone knows that.
Yeah, but it's the same for any freelancer. You could be freelance audio. You could be
Yeah.
freelance. I mean, we use makeup. That's freelance. You can have editors. You can have graphics. You can have everything. And if you're a part of the process, then you're a witness to the love and the conditions and the context and everything that goes into it. But if you're not a part of the process, if you're someone who's just getting handed stuff, it is so easy to judge people as either good enough or not good enough. And that's a tough industry to work in.
Can I say something?
No.
One thing I just want to mention is I think it's really important. I think why you guys do great work and why.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, it's because a shooter really, when you go out and you have a producer that actually has a vision or can say, hey, the night before, take a look at this example. This is what we're kind of shooting for, or we're looking for this. When you go out with a producer like that, you'll do better work, and you're inspired to do something. And then when you see the results, you're like, I want to work with them again, right? So, and then you do better work. But sometimes when you're, working on a project that there's no vision or there's nothing there, you feel it, and you're like, it sounds kind of stupid when I'm going to say this, but you feel it in your heart and your soul, like there's no.
Well, I think it has to do something with the corporate thing, because the thing with corporate, we take it very seriously. It's a passion that we have.
Yeah.
But a lot of people out there, freelancers, see corporate as just some cash on the side.
They do.
So when you say you go with some producers, they just don't have a vision and everything, because really they're just showing up and like, I gotta do this to pay the bills, but really I want to be, doing this other thing, but I'm here because I have to, kind of thing. So when that's already, you come into a job with a mindset, then you kind of I don't want to say doom, but like you're not gonna get the same results.
Mm-hmm. I think that's an age thing too, and I don't want to be ageist, but I think that there's a new generation of filmmakers who see corporate as a channel to produce really great cinematic work or really smart communications. And I think that there's an older generation, or maybe people who are maybe have a little bit more experience in their career, who are kind of still stuck in this idea that my job is film, I'll do corporate on the side. My job is TV, I'll do corporate on the side. And I've seen this shift in the last 5 years where you know what, the TV people are begging us for work because we have budgets, and the film people who do fantastic work on an 80-person team where they're one of 80. You put them in a crew where they're one of 3, one of 5, or just one, and it's just not good enough. It's just terrible work.
Yeah, but there's a difference between people that work in the industry, those who want to work in the industry, but they can't get into the industry, so they come to corporate because they need to pay.
I disagree, man. I could have easily worked in stayed in TV. I could have worked my way, or I could have went in I could have camera training program. Film's easy to get into, really easy. It's just I don't like that world.
But that's freedom. That's a 10-year path. Like I don't know if you had this in corporate, but when I started in TV as a freelancer, and everyone on set with me, so I was camera opping, said it takes 10 years. Just prepare yourself. You're in your early 20s. It takes 10 years to build your career. Well, I've been out of school now for 12 years, and I think I've done a lot better building my own business than waiting, especially with the shift we've seen in television. I mean, I'm going back to 2003 when I graduated, 2004, and TV was a different beast than it was in 08, that it was in 11, that it is now. We see stations closing. We see people going out of work, and they're all freelancers, and they're left with what? They're left with a demo reel and some experience, and contacts who also don't have work. They're now competing. It's like, do your own thing, build your own business. Even if you're a freelancer, if you're a producer, no matter what, just show up to work with that mentality, I think.
But that's the mindset. The people that are freelance business owners, we believe in private business. We believe in being your
America.
Well, yeah, kind of, really, when you think about it, that those ideals that you're your own king, and if you go out and get it, you'll go and get it. Maybe you'll fail, but if you fail, you get up again and do it again. These are the type of people that change and do things. I mean,
well, society.
That's what a freelancer does. They're the go-getters.
Yeah.
You're a go-getter. Like, these are the type of people that come to private business and do the stuff that.
And society as a whole is changing. Everything is changing. You got social media. You got all kinds of stuff. So the traditional ways of communicating.
Are you about to say?
Hang on a second.
Hold on. Are you about to say?
Winning.
Yes, I was just about to say. You're about to say this is why China's winning.
So everything is changing.
China's not winning.
There's no longer the brick and mortar kind of television station. We got Netflix. We got stuff online. I was watching the other day the whole thing about YouTube Awards. What is that all about? I have no idea. I guess I'm too old for it. But clearly things are changing.
Big time.
So there's a lot of people doing many different things. And even though there are more people out there saying I can do it myself. I mean, there's a lot of more noise, but at the same time, there's people doing different things, and amongst all those, there are people that rise above and create unique stuff and cool stuff that drive forward.
Okay, so we talked to Chris about being a good freelancer, but on the producer side of things, what's the tips for finding the good staff, for keeping them, for training them, and maybe even, Chris, you talked about being a good producer and how to interact with your freelancers, but Roland, like, what's the best way to find someone and keep someone?
You got to start a little bit the old school way. Either someone gives you someone's phone number, and that's how you start, or you see someone do something, they seem okay, but you got to take a chance. There's no other way I can do it. I could call them up and talk to them. If in a 10-minute conversation they just come across a certain way, then I most likely will not take them out. But they seem okay, and whatever I saw is okay, then I'll take them out. Take a chance. It's about taking a chance on someone, and if they do great, then we continue the conversation. If it just totally goes sideways, then you shake hands at the end of the day and like talk to you later, which has happened to me many times. I come out with people that have great reels, great whatever it is. They talk fine phone, but we go out there and it's just a train wreck. And then you could say, oh, you wrote them off too quickly. But it's like, am I invest as a producer am I going to invest time in these people? Am I going to invest my energy? And if it just at a personal level doesn't work, or just technically just seems odd, or something off, then you just end it there. But then you see something, the one thing, that one sparkle, it could be rough. Maybe he wasn't the best, but there's something there. Then you can start a conversation. As long as the other person is open to that, I want to work with you, but we need to improve this and that, and you continue from there kind of thing.
And can I also say that real big tip to anyone freelancing, if you're facing a client, you're representing the guys you're working for or the women you're working for, and you need to figure out what their corporate culture is, whether that's the way you dress, whether that's the way you speak, whether it's even in some circumstances, are you even allowed to talk to the client, or should you be hanging back? Whether you should be jumping in with what you did last night, or whether you should just stay quiet. We've seen it all, but there's nothing worse than as a producer or someone in charge of a set, having the client there working so hard to set yourself up to spend weeks selling it or pre-proing it or whatever it is, or even you're showing a final cut and you have maybe your freelance editor there. There's nothing worse than them deflating all of the credibility you built by looking like an idiot. Mm-hmm. Because if you guys are a bunch of cowboys, then gosh, I don't know what you're doing.
It's like the how's my driving thing on the vans, right? Like you're representing the company the whole time, and it's gonna come back to you.
Do you ever call those numbers
eventually.
up?
No.
Or it could be also like there's a baby on board.
I hate that sign. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have one of those.
But like, what does that really mean? Does it mean like, okay, now I'm not supposed to hit you?
Honk.
Like, I don't want to hit anybody in a car.
Honestly,
okay?
I feel like
don't honk.
To me, it means like I probably didn't sleep and I'm a basket case. Like maybe don't come near my car.
Okay, so hold on.
That's what happened
Caution
anyway.
for you, not for me.
So backstory here. Leah, you have a little son who's what, 8 months old?
Yeah.
And Roland, you had a baby, what, 2 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's Mr. Mom.
And
the first
I
man.
am very proud to say that I have 4 kids, and I've never had one of those stupid signs in my window.
You have those. You have worse.
Your wife.
You have those little people on the back of your car.
What's wrong with the little
Those
people?
Those
worst.
are the worst. They
don't
are
care
the
about
worst.
family.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the family people?
Yeah.
No.
I want-
You got to take them off.
No,
or
no,
put
no,
the
no.
Star Wars. Put the Star Wars ones.
No,
like,
no,
at
no.
least
Listen.
Ewoks and the Jawas
I
or
want people to
something.
know that I am a stick man with a camera, that my wife is a stick man holding a baby, and then we have little boys and girls.
Those are distracting. 'Cause
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
it,
they
you're
are.
Like, what
Weird.
is that Yoshi?
I know.
Just rearing someone.
And the families always get bigger. There's always like the animal, and there's like, the
got the
dog.
Chihuahua,
and,
yeah.
Okay,
They're
no, hold on.
skiing.
We don't have
Right?
like
Why? Does it matter?
Yeah.
we
Like-
don't have 7 cats or something like after the family. Like the worst is you got the family of sorry for single moms or dads here, but like you got the one parent with the one kid and then like 7 animals. Okay, that is sad.
And the
Okay.
kid's like a teenager
Hilarious.
too. You're like,
It's like you feel sorry for yourself that much. I want everyone to know.
Oh gosh, I saw this YouTube video.
There's like an outline of the dad sticker that's been ripped off.
Yeah, it's like
I've
Yeah,
okay.
that guy's a freelancer.
I have seen a decapitated father off of an angry mother's back where she was just like, yeah, I'm gonna rip this off. But I saw a YouTube video that was really dark humor where there was a car accident and the mom rushes to the scene and is like, oh no, my family was in that, and then the officer just turns to the back window and slowly peels off one of the stickers and hands it to her.
no more for you.
Listen, I didn't produce that. I'm just saying that I found it funny. Okay, that's enough of that. We've gotten way off the rails. Let's move on. Coming up in a second, listener feedback. If you have a question or comment, we would love to hear from you. This is not supposed to be a one-way street. We'd love to interact. We would love to potentially bring people on in the 4th seat. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a potential topic that you'd like us to cover, please drop us an email, feedback@notsocorporatepodcast.com. Okay, so listener feedback. So we have a question in, Leah?
Oh yeah. So here we go. Janet from Iowa wants to know if we can shoot her cousin's wedding.
Oh, the wedding question, huh?
Okay, so hold on.
I thought she really wants Chris's phone number.
She also said she's not married yet. Call me, Chris.
Okay, so
that's
hold
why
on.
I don't take the weddings.
Is it just this? Is this? Let me ask you guys this, and you may not have an answer, but maybe the audience will know. Is this just a Toronto thing where we look down at people who shoot weddings? I know it's a huge business. I know that people do really, really good work,
No.
but the wedding scene,
It's
like,
awful.
is it bad? Is
It's
it bad?
awful.
Like, is it like
There's
soul
only
sucking?
There's only a small percentage of people that are really, really good at it.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right? And they're getting owned by these people that shouldn't be doing it.
They don't. No one wants to pay for it. Weddings are so
Right.
expensive, so they're like, I have been asked to shoot, and I barely shoot. Like I went to school for video
We know.
journalism, so I barely shoot. I've been asked to shoot every wedding I've
Right.
attended since
Yeah.
I went to school, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
But like
I
Louis
don't-
Louis
like,
in our office, he came from the wedding scene. He did it
Yes.
for years and years and years, and
editing though.
yeah, but still, it's just like
They drive me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard. It's like I look up to
We're gonna
people that
get-
can do that.
we're gonna get a lot of people who write us who do weddings, who love doing weddings, and they're gonna think that we're just terrible.
I
for
actually
coming
agree
down.
with that.
No,
I don't think that it's bad. I think
it's
it's
not.
awful work. Like
That's
I don't
right.
think they're awful people for doing
That's
it. I
right.
think it's awful work.
I agree
it's
with you.
so much footage. It's like the bride and it's
Okay, so
too
what's
much.
Like
the
it could
answer
be so much
to,
better too, right?
Yeah.
You could do
the
a
answer
30
to the listener's
Yeah.
question? The answer
5-minute
is
piece.
Iowa. No, we're not going to shoot your wedding.
But weddings, that's a good topic to
Janet.
talk about.
Janet.
That is a good topic to talk about because it's true. People like I don't look down at weddings. I don't like.
No.
I couldn't do it because it is a
I know what I
hard
feel bad-
thing to do
Mm-hmm.
proper, and I'm not going to go there and do a half-assed job.
What
So
I usually feel
hurt-
bad about weddings is when people show me their wedding videos,
Right.
or I see it and it's so terrible,
Right.
and they pay an arm and a leg for it.
right?
That's true, too.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
exactly
really
it.
bothers me because like I don't know everybody in the industry. I'm pretty sure there's good people out there, but a lot of people either A, they don't have they're not good at it, or they just don't care.
That's
And
right.
for them, it's just like rinse and repeat kind of thing, and they
It's
just
hard
kind
to
of like
care
put
about
together.
it though. It's hard to
And
care
that's
about
it, too.
shooting
But how
someone
can
else's
you do
wedding.
hold on? But how can you do a good job? Let's say like so you're going to spend a lot of money on your wedding. You have a 3-person
why you don't
crew
get
or
married like me.
something. That's why you don't get married. That's your answer.
Just have a baby.
You're
Just
so
have a baby.
Get over it.
You're so Colombian sometimes. eh?
It's done.
But no, seriously, you have a 3-person crew and you're spending tons of money because it's your personal money. It's not corporate money or anything. So you have a 3-person crew. They're all shooting. They're all doing sound. They're all running around like a bunch of crazy people. But it's just like, it's just not enough resources to do a good job and do what's in the
Yeah.
bride's head, right?
People are
Like,
trying
No,
to do
but-
too
does the
much.
groom
Yeah,
really
that's
care?
the thing. Like your wedding isn't The Hangover, like part 2 even, or part 3, which
Like
was
who-
terrible. It's not. Your wedding is boring to everyone but you. So
Exactly. And when are you going to watch it?
Exactly, and it's
Well, like,
length,
I
of,
think-
length of video has it makes a huge difference for me. 'Cause
5 minutes you
If
need.
you want me to do a 5-minute video for you, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
If you want me to do like 5 hours of your wedding footage, I want to shoot myself in the face. I
Who
like, I
watches
don't
it?
want to do
The
that.
only people that watch a 5-hour weddings are the
Nobody.
ones that are divorced and like,
Oh yeah, or the bride. Like
no, well, hold on.
How
Yeah,
about
no,
you,
it's
Mark?
like-
Where's your wedding video?
fine.
yeah.
Like a 5-minute piece.
Great. Let's wrap this topic.
Yeah.
Show the,
Cool music.
the highlights of walking down the aisle, the cake cutting, just like a montage, 5-minute
Yeah.
montage wedding. That's how wedding videos should
Can I,
be.
Yeah.
but
can I take a
I'm
moment
not
to
in the wedding.
apologize to my wife? We're having our 10th anniversary in May, and I've yet to cut our wedding video. So-
Oh my god.
I just did a really
What
crappy
about
job of
Small,
mine.
like montage. You know, it's pretty. It sounds rude, but I've had a lot of people ask me to do their weddings. Like,
me
oh, you're in
too.
video? Do you do weddings? No, I don't. Like, I don't. Like, but
Okay.
everybody asks you, and we could be rich doing that.
It's like going to
And then
like
you
a,
see these people that taking this
What was
work.
sorry?
and
What
they-
was her name? Janice in Iowa. Was
Janet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a
Janet in
huge
Iowa.
topic for us, though. This is,
You just
Yeah.
opened the biggest can of worms.
So can I ask you, like, how do you turn things down as a freelancer? Like, the part of freelancing that scares me is you're the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to also be a finance guy and like do your own taxes and all
Everything.
that bullshit. That would be awful for me. But you also have to turn people down. Like, how do you turn people down?
for example,
Say
if it's a
no.
wedding, like if someone
Yeah.
asks me for, I say exactly what I said there. I said,
Okay.
if you want somebody to really do a great job, like take your due diligence, take your time to find someone that's really professional and really look for the best photographer and videographer. That I hate that word videographer, but that's what they call them, especially in the
in
wedding world.
weddings.
And do that because I'm not the guy, and I'll tell them like, you need someone that's going to do the job quick and do it right for you, and I'm not that person.
Chris,
you
with
know?
all due respect,
you have to be honest.
Chris,
Yeah.
Chris, hold on. Bridesmaids, women in dresses, you're not the guy to be there anyway because
Oh.
you're just gonna go crazy.
It's true.
What about
That's
so
true.
what about your like buddy opens a business? He's like, well, I'm gonna sell whatever,
Nope.
and I want you to do.
I don't know
video.
how-
I don't work with. I don't let any of my friends. They probably think I've like, they know nothing about my professional world really in my life really because I'm not going to mix both. I won't because you don't. It doesn't matter what you shoot for them. They're probably going to come back want it cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why don't you do it like this? Maybe they'll be with your friends the other. He's not really that good or or whatever. And I don't want them like my professional life is this, and then my friends are over here.
Oh.
I don't mix it.
Do
at
you
all.
do stuff for people, Roland?
No.
Like my close friends, I don't.
Well,
Well, but how can you like so if you're working full time, if you're freelancing full time, if you're working around the clock, how can you do your job all day long and then be like, sure, I'd love to do it for free for
it's
you
so
in my
annoying.
spare time.
It's so
Yeah.
I mean, it's
you
just
get your staff to do it.
Freebies I will do though. Sometimes people will be like photos. They'll be no, they will. They'll be like, can you shoot? Well, my friends, though, they're babies and stuff. Everyone's like, can
Yeah.
you shoot my photos?
Oh
of my
yeah, I
baby?
take photos
I'll
of
do
people's
that.
babies.
That's
Yeah.
quick. I'll just do.
so.
Like,
Roland,
not
what was
video.
that you whispered a second ago?
You ask your staff to do it when someone asks you to do something for you.
Oh
that
yeah,
not-
what's it
is that
called?
not-
Chicken dance or whatever? What's that? It's like a whole drive of stuff we do for your family, Mark.
Is that not a strategy? You're not.
Strategy.
So luckily for me, I don't think anyone in my family will listen to that. But is that not a good strategy? Like, so when my church comes to me and asks me to do a video, and then I just get my staff to do it, is that not a good thing to do?
That's great.
That's
works
you're
for
the
you.
boss though, so
Yeah, to say.
I'm sorry. With all due respect to them, I did oversee the project. I executive produced it.
yeah.
Your production.
Was it pro bono?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you got to do pro bono. You do. Sometimes you have to do stuff like that for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
I was hoping you would say that because I would be pissed off if you were like, yeah, I totally charge my church, but what?
No.
What did you do?
Okay, with that, we're going to wrap up this week's podcast. Chris, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. It was great.
Nice seeing you, Roland.
Thanks.
Nice seeing you, the
Good
bus.
seeing
to
ya.
sort of meet you. Yeah.
Kind of, sort of,
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Oh, okay, go
Sorta.
ahead, Mark.
I met you before.
Okay, Chris, that was a little harsh, but thanks. Anyway, thanks to my two co-hosts,
you
Roland, Leah.
My pleasure. It was great.
Always a
talking to you.
pleasure, Mark. Always enjoy these moments with you, Leah. Pleasure as always.
Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Okay, well, what do you want me to end with? Hey,
We're
tell me what you want me to end
millionaires.
with.
Oh,
Tell
we
me,
shoot
you're a
the shit for
producer.
like a minute.
Roland, you're a producer. Write me the script. What am we supposed to end with?
Shoot the shit for a minute.
You can think about it. You can think about it all week, and then you can just add it
I'm
in,
not
right?
doing a pickup. Are we comfortable with this? Yeah, we're good with this, right?
I actually think that you should try it again at the end.